Okay, so here's inside, and I'm going to try to explain what I can as far as what we've done in here. It's been quite a long time, quite a lot of work. So when you first come in, one of the things that we did is we switched out a lot of the light switches. So we swapped out, they were older, they were kind of a yellowed plastic. So we swapped out what we could with these new switches. And so that's everywhere. We also changed the lights in the ceiling. They were bar lights, and we switched them to these puck system lights. They do have an on-off switch in the middle of them, but then also they are on a switch. The ones in the kitchen, you just click to turn on. We changed out the ceiling fan into this chandelier-like fan. So that's the light, and then it does have a remote to control the fan. We painted everything, which took a lot of time. We took all the doors off. I filled them with drywall mud to fill in the wood grain so that way you wouldn't see the grain underneath the paint color, and sanded that. That took several coats of that, and then several coats of primer, and then several coats of enamel. So these have been I've gotten way too familiar with these cabinet doors. The three in the slide that have caning, those were a gray glass that had kind of a leaf pattern to it, and so I glued this caning to the front of them, and I think it turned out really nicely. And there's some new puck lights, of course, and then also we replaced, this was a wall sconce that we replaced with this two-way light. So it's a night light, and it's also, gotta get behind here, it's a reading light as well, so you can kind of direct it how you want it. This is another, the Dinette light. I do have to still patch some holes in the ceiling, so just don't mind that. This one is really neat when it's turned on. It makes a beautiful little pattern on the ceiling and also on the walls when it's dusk. So the first thing that we did when we came in here is we actually took down all of the window treatments. Each of these windows had a wooden cornice on it, as well as honeycomb blinds. It was very dark in here, so we took that off it basically immediately as soon as we bought it. We replaced these lights up under here with some puck lights as well. Those lights we probably won't turn on that much, but they look nice. They're a little flat black. We considered putting some pendant lights in, but we didn't want to block this giant window. We also took the trim off of this door. It had the big upholstered head above it, and then just some really thin molding around it. So we took all of that off and put this kit on there. I still have to prime it. I don't know if you can really see it, but it has the little corner pieces, the little corner rosettes in it. I have to prime it and everything. Then, of course, all this corners in this camper are rounded, so anything that we have done that's square, we have to kind of fill in, sand, caulk, the whole nine to try to get it fixed. So we actually focused upstairs first when we first bought it. So I'll show you guys upstairs. So it's a mess right now because we're in the middle of doing things, and obviously storage is scarce in here. So we ripped the shower out. The shower was a kind of a corner, not a radius shower. Radius is usually a rounded shower. It wasn't that. It had a flat corner on it, and it was like a frosted glass. So we ripped that out, ripped the pan out, ripped the walls out. And then Kevin built this wall out. We put some waterproofing membrane on it. We put in this pan. It's like a kind of a stone composite pan. And then we have our shower head and spigot thing that are roughed out, and that'll go in. We had a plumber help us with that. It was a family friend of my in-laws. Then all of this was carpet, right? Up here was all carpeted except for where I'm standing, which was like a linoleum. So this was all carpet. We ripped all the carpet out, and even these risers were carpet, and Kevin ripped the carpet off and then faced them out with wood instead, which I think looks much cleaner. And we did that all around. So he did that over here. And then also up through here. Now you'll notice that everything's white up here. This is Ibis white. The headboard is actually going to be probably a teak kind of tile that I picked out on Amazon. Haven't done it yet. Obviously, right now it's just primed. But the cabinets and everything are done. So we left this, we left that. So what that actually is a, what that actually is a little nod to what it used to look like. All of the cabinetry was that color. If you can imagine, the entire camper was that color cabinetry. I'm going to try to learn how to edit videos, but I don't know how to do that right now. But I'd like to put in some before pictures on here as well. So obviously the mirror doors, we thought about getting rid of the mirror doors, but we actually like them now that everything is painted. So here's another nice big window. Here is the dresser. So the dresser was redone in Ibis white, and then I epoxied the counter. Now the counter is epoxy. So what I had to do with this is I had to prime it. I took there was a trim piece around that was like a rubber trim piece. I pulled that out. I primed it, did the undercoat, and then did this. This one I did not do as a quote-unquote exotic or dirty pour. This one was done a color at a time, as was the vanity. So here's the vanity. We changed the sink. We changed the faucet. Added this faux marble backsplash to it. We changed the light as well. It had a big bar light across the top. This is the vanity area again. Changed the faucet. This same thing for this counter. It was all done with different colors. So I did white, gray, silver, black, metallic white, metallic black. So when the sun hits it, you can see the shimmer to it. So we went over the shower already. Same thing up here, change the lights and things like that. This is the water closet. I'm gonna step back. So the water closet right now is just kind of considered almost primed. Kevin did a great job, added a beadboard and chair rail in here. And then the upper part is black because I'm doing a black based wallpaper. It's black with peacocks and flowers. They're all beige, white, gold tone. It's nothing super loud, but I read online that if you're doing wallpaper, if it's a dark wallpaper, you should have dark walls. That way if the seams ever raise or don't match up exactly, it's not as noticeable. So that's why there's black. And then I was initially going to have the upper cabinets white, but I started painting and I thought that black would look a lot sharper, and so I really like it. I put black up there. And this will have a door on it. We're going to change the toilet. It'll have a door. The door is actually in our garage right now. So that door will be probably white with some trim on it. I'm also going to be priming and trimming out this pocket door. I'll put trim on the front side. If I put it on the back, it won't close, so I can't do it on that side. Now, downstairs. So I kind of did a quick little run through already on downstairs, but downstairs also we added this fireplace, and it has a remote, but we usually just kind of hit it with the the face buttons. The box is a welded metal box that will support the television when we mount it there, and then the upper cabinet will have doors on it that are already repainted. This section is going to be Black Magic, which is the same color that the water closet is currently painted at the moment. So in the kitchen, this was the same thing. It had the standard beige linoleum countertop, pulled the rubber corners off, and epoxied it. Now this one is actually done in what's called a dirty or exotic pour, which means you put all of the colors in the same bucket and then you just pour it out and let it go and see what it does. I did come in later on with a few, with a tongue depressor and added a little bit more copper to it. But you can kind of see, it's hard with the light in here, but let's see if I get down to it. So you can kind of see the pattern. I really like it a lot. We did actually have a few issues with it, just with the top coat, but I think it turned out really nicely. I actually added a little extra top coat to it so that way it would have almost more of a hammered or a tumbled look to it. It is a little bit dusty in here, but I wanted to kind of show these veins and everything. So obviously when you pour it in the bucket, you don't mix it, right? It just you let it kind of come out and do what it's going to do. Also in here, again, like I said, this is the Oat brand color, with the champagne bronze handles. And then we have a new sink in here, a much larger sink, a much deeper sink, which meant that the plumber friend had to really do a lot of work and replumb under this sink. And then we actually had a gold faucet at first and we didn't like it. We switched it to black and we think it really looks a lot better. Kevin also framed out these windows. This is something I saw on Instagram and I loved it. So obviously nothing in a camper is square. A lot of things slant, so it made it a little bit difficult, but I think he did a really great job. So these are, this way we can still get to the screws to get the windows out if we need to make any kind of repairs. He's got to still do the underneath piece right here. And then I've been working on the backsplash. This is PVC tile, peel and stick, from the Tile Bar website. I think it's looking really nice. It's pretty easy to use. You can just score it with an X-Acto knife and pop it. And then I have to get up into these little small sections and then work my way around still. We did have some water damage that had to be remedied. Kevin actually just fixed this today. This was a hole in the floor and in the wall from a leak above the refrigerator. It was literally just one screw that had fallen out and was missing, and it let water in and it got all the way through into here and rotted out that portion of the floor. So, you know, campers are I mean, you're gonna have water damage, period. If you have a camper, you're gonna have water damage. It just is what it is. We've had 2 large spaces of water damage that we've had to repair in this one, but overall it looks really good for the age that it is. So that's what we've done. That's kind of a quick walk around.